I'm Michaela, and in this short video, I'll walk through how to use Salesforce Translation Workbench feature to manage multilingual labels and terminology in your org. If your users speak different languages or you want to localize terminology per region, this tool is key. It's a native Salesforce tool that lets you enable multiple languages in your org and assign translators for each language. It enables to translate metadata such as custom field labels, picklist values, step names, and data in some cases. In short, you can tailor what users see depending on their language settings and help improve user experience, especially for global teams. And it also means that you don't need separate orgs for each language. You can manage one org with multiple languages. If you still don't have Translation Workbench enabled, do so in Setup. Type Translation Language Settings and enable it here. I already have it enabled, but if I wanted to disable it, I would do it right here, clicking the Disable button. You can add supported languages, clicking the Add Language button, and then identify a translator for this user for each of the languages. And if you have many labels to translate, you can also use the export feature. So under Translation Workbench, you can see that there's export and import. So you first export all the labels you have. You will receive an email once it's done. Then translate the labels outside of Salesforce and import them back to Salesforce. Once you assign a translator to a language, this translator can start translating. He or she will select the language to translate. So in our case, it can be the Czech language, and then you select the setup component. It will be the custom field in my case. And before making this change, let's see how the org looks when we change the settings to Czech language. Let's go to accounts, for example, and everything seems to be in Czech on the first look, but for example, the names of records are still in English, and some custom fields also don't get translated. An example is the customer priority, number of locations, or the active field. So let's see how to translate the active field to Czech language. First, choose Czech language. It's in Czech language, which is Čeština, and find the custom field component. And the active field was on the account object, which is účet in Czech language. And the aspect is field label. Identify the field that you want to translate. In our case, it's the first one, and double click in the second column, the field label translation, and type the field name in the translated language. So in Czech, it's aktivní. And let's also translate the picklist values. There was picklist values, and select the object and the aktivní. You can already see that it was translated from active to aktivní. And let's translate the values. No is ne, and yes is no. And save. Okay, everything is translated now. Now we can see that the number of locations and also the active fields were translated, and the picklist values of yes and no were translated as well. So remember that you can translate custom field labels, picklist values, custom object names, step names, related list labels, as well as validation rule messages and report type names. If a particular field hasn't been translated yet, the user will always see the default org language. And that was a quick overview of Salesforce Translation Workbench. For any admin working with international teams or multilingual users, it's a very useful tool to improve clarity, adoption, and localization. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us in comments below. Thank you, have a nice day.